Now, some action movies back in the day would ease you into the danger. Navy SEALs opens by shooting down a helicopter, interrupting a wedding, and sending a heavily armed Michael Biehn into the Mediterranean, all before Charlie Sheen has even had time to sober up. This is not a subtle movie. It's loud, reckless, occasionally ridiculous, and built with the confidence of a VHS cover that already knew you were taking it home. Welcome back to Sunset Video Quick Picks, our stroll through the video store to find a fun rental from the past, and today we're rewinding Navy SEALs from 1990, directed by Lewis Teague, and I'm going to tell you why this critically battered military actioner still makes for a great Friday night rental. The setup here is pure action movie efficiency. A Navy SEAL team rescues some American hostages in the Middle East and discovers a stockpile of stolen Stinger missiles. They're ordered to leave before destroying them, which means those missiles immediately become everybody else's problem. The mission to recover them falls to Lieutenant James Curran, played by Michael Biehn, along with his team, including second in command Charlie Sheen as Dale Hawkins, a man who treats military discipline as more of a loose suggestion. And really, that pairing right there is the movie. Biehn brings the steel. He plays Curran as controlled, capable, and quietly exhausted by the human bottle rocket standing next to him, while Sheen, on the other hand, plays Hawkins like Maverick walked into the wrong branch of the military and nobody had the courage to send him home. Hawkins jumps off bridges to avoid weddings, he wakes up drunk in the beach, he steals his own car back from a tow truck and starts fights he doesn't need to start, and just remains convinced that every problem can be solved by moving faster and firing more bullets. He's not exactly a model officer, he's barely a model adult, but Sheen gives the movie its pulse, Biehn gives the movie its weight, and that push-pull between professionalism and recklessness is what keeps Navy SEALs moving even when the screenplay starts collecting side plots like overdue rental fees. The supporting team here is stacked as well. Bill Paxton brings easygoing charm as Billy Graham, Rick Rossovich, Cyril O'Reilly, Paul Sanchez, and a young Dennis Haybert all sell the squad as a group of guys that's just worked, fought, and probably destroyed several hotel rooms together. You may not get deep biographies on these guys, but the movie quickly lets you know who you want beside you when the shooting starts. I also think that with his direction, Lewis Teague gives all the missions real scale and scope. The opening hostage rescue is tight and aggressive. The freighter sequence has the team approaching from a submarine and small motorized rafts, and then the final Beirut assault moves from a stealth to gunfire to explosives, then armored vehicles, and an underwater knife fight because it was the end of the 80s and why not? So I think there's just an appealing physical quality to this movie. Boats feel like boats, weapons have weight to them, buildings explode instead of politely sparkling in the background, and overall the practical effects and stunt work still look polished in this movie all these years later. The production would use former SEALs to train the cast. All the actors went through 2 weeks of field exercises and weapons instructions. The US Navy did have concerns about the project and limited its cooperation, so the filmmakers instead leaned on the Spanish military for ships, helicopters, vehicles, and locations, while southern Spain would double for Beirut, giving the finale a very convincing just war zone texture that I think makes the entire movie. Now, don't get it wrong, Navy SEALs is absolutely a Hollywood fantasy, but it has enough tactical detail and hardware to make that fantasy feel expensive, and expensive it was. This movie cost around $20 million to make. It would only earn around $25 million in the States. So despite the production value, this military actioner was not the breakout hit that Orion Pictures wanted during an already packed summer of 1990. Critics were pretty rough on it as well, and some of the complaints are fair, I will admit. I mean, the tone jumps around, the romance involving a journalist feels bolted onto the side. The villains are painted with a very broad 1990s action movie brush, and at nearly 2 hours, the film occasionally pauses the missions to remind us that somebody wanted this to be Top Gun with scuba gear. Regardless, Navy SEALs knows how to deliver the rental goods. The cast is ridiculously watchable. Michael Biehn is in full command mode. Charlie Sheen is operating at peak loose cannon velocity. Bill Paxton can steal a scene just by standing near it. The missions are varied, the explosions are generous, and the movie really takes its macho mythology just seriously enough to make it all work. And it would find a much friendlier audience on VHS. When this movie hit the rental market in early '91, it quickly jumped up into the top 5 rental charts, and I think that kind of feels like this movie's natural habitat. This was a movie designed to just sit on the video store shelf with Sheen and Bean holding weapons and the title printed in letters that were visible from the parking lot when you pulled in. Clerks even turned that reputation into a joke, presenting Navy SEALs as exactly the kind of gloriously brain-off tape an excited customer would grab from the rack, and honestly, that's fair. Navy SEALs is uneven, it's overlong and about as delicate as a grenade rolling across a tile floor, but it also has Michael Biehn leading an elite action cast, Charlie Sheen behaving like a caffeinated demolition charge, and it's got plenty of old school stunt work, endless amounts of great military hardware, and a finale that refuses to stop until somebody's fought underwater. So I think it's a loaded rental package, not the most accurate in terms of mission briefings, but absolutely the movie you want when the box art promises guns, boats, explosions, and tough guy bravado bursting from all the seams. Now I want to kick it back to you guys. Let me know in the comments, is Navy SEALs an underrated action favorite, or is this one best left on the bottom shelf? And if you did enjoy this episode of Quick Picks, hit like, subscribe to Sunset Videos so you never catch a video. I got plenty more forgotten favorites to talk about with you guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to rewind your tapes, and I'll catch you next time.
Jack Burton and the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there.
Flag of war. You gotta become war.
I suppose we have to register you as a lethal weapon.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?